Hey, what's going on YouTube? Here's a dollar on the daily chart. It looks like we crossed over the 13 today and bounced back in, but a little bit more bearish than the previous bounces. So it looks like it wants to come down, especially if it wants to break previous lows. And we just opened a new candle for the day, for tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday already, and can't believe it. So on the week, getting knocked back again for the week, unless tomorrow is a different day. So again, we're working with a higher low. We got a downtrend. We got the SMA 34, and price is stuck between the 34 and the 8 and the 13, doing this little thing, little corkscrew. When it decides to break, look for the flat top breaks outside the pattern or below the 8, as any close and weekly below the EMA 8 is going to be detrimental. So there you go. We're still just 4 weeks in a row, just right there. Hasn't done anything through the Brexit, through Clinton's fiascos, the FBI lying to everybody, the Dallas shooting. Everything is just right there. So we'll see. Friday is tomorrow. See how the the weekly closes. Let's look at the 10-year yield. You can see now the right shoulder is coming in on reverse head and shoulders. You can see the AB bottom, the left shoulder, the head, and what we're waiting for is a break of the neckline. But lo and behold, it got pushed back as it went into previous lows, into the SMA 34, and so now we're stuck in a little corkscrew between the 8 and the 34 again. So anything outside those lines, take a ride, see what happens. It is a bottom reverse head and shoulders pattern, so keep an eye on it. But I hope you guys see the AB bottom kind of situation where the right shoulder and the neck or the head comes in, and then it makes a neckline on the way up. But looks like it wants to go higher. We opened up for the day. S&P, well, back to the yield. We are bearish on a longer term so far. This candle needs to confirm on a weekly, but as you can see, the 34 on a daily is the EMA 8 on a weekly. So it's getting pushed back as it hits previous lows. And then the next previous low is the previous lows over here, the EMA 13. So we do have a bullish pattern, but the week has to close. So we'll see what happens. S&P looks like a little blow off from today, but the next candle is opening up. Not much of a reversal bar, but look for another wick. Look for 3 wicks pointing up, as that is bearish. And then probably look for price coming back into the 8 and bouncing, but no signs of it really turning over. It's more of a stair step on a 60-minute, creating that U pattern it always does on a bullish pattern. 5-hour chart, it's just long and hard. A little stair step into the 8 on a 5-hour. Weekly, of course, we broke out. And staying above previous highs for the week so far. Let's look at the Dow. You can see the gap from today. And obviously the breakout. For the week, it's got a long candle on the upside. So far, it's closing on its lows, so it could be bullish for a while. You never can tell unless something happens and it breaks the momentum on the downside. So keep an eye on it, but definitely looks bullish after that flat top break on the weekly chart. Above previous highs. So here's Deutsche Bank. Had another up day, but see how we close for the week, as it looks like we got a bullish pattern, 2-bar pattern, but it is not above the EMA 8 yet. It's got to break into previous lows, into previous lows, into the previous lows previous than that, and consolidate. So look for price to go above 16, consolidate, and maybe reach its other end. But right now it's being pushed back, being held back by previous lows as it broke it down. But the daily looks I'd hate to trade this on the daily, but you got a gap and a gap and a gap, a gap. Everywhere's a gap. Reversal bars, reversal bars. It's just pretty nasty. Thinly traded, seems like. But they're in trouble, so let's keep an eye on it as we go into previous lows. It would be a best short. If it doesn't go back bearish, then you'll know right away. That's the thing about buying into support, selling into resistance. If it doesn't work out, you'll know right away. So it's the best time. Let's take a look at the 10-year German. You can see the reverse head and shoulders again. The AB bottom, the right shoulder, the head, and now a neckline as it filled the gap. Luckily enough, it got pushed back by the SMA 34. Look for short term, look for some kind of U pattern on a 60-minute. The U pattern is going to come back into the 60 or the EMA 8, sort of like that, and then try for the break. But you can see on a 60-minute how nice and sweet those reverse head and shoulders are. Especially if you catch it on the bottom, you buy into support, take another ride, flat top break, boom. Pretty nice. You learn that pattern, you can trade every day. Let's look at Crude. I thought Crude had a good day, but not really. Look for price to come back into 40 as support is lying. Remember, if it doesn't come all the way back to the SMA, does a reversal and doesn't touch where it's supposed to, then it turns around. I call that double bullish. So keep an eye out. A lot of times it'll whip past the 34. Sometimes it won't touch the 34. And a lot of times it'll just smack the 34 and bounce. So keep your eye on that. As price patterns across the 34 are very nice to trade. So on a daily, you got to cross a below, make a double top. Now we got a double bottom, lower highs, bullish, bearish retracement, a breakdown, bearish retracement. It looks bearish from here as it keeps getting knocked back into previous lows. So get above 46 and everything I'm talking about is wrong, but break previous lows and it'll drop to new support levels. So here's our support, 44, 44. Next support looks like right around 42.50, and then dropping off. Looks like 42.50 is a good bet. Well, previous high is at, yeah, let's just call it 42 to 42.50. So it might be a good place to see a bounce into support, which is previous highs. Previous high here, previous high here. And then between the previous low. So between the previous high and the previous low, anything in between here might be a nice bounce. So going back to the weekly, 42.50, right around there. See the double tops here? So it might be a hit and run. It might crush it, go through it, meet the other previous low at 35. So potential, I guess, could be 35, making an opposing point. But we'll see. My bet is at 40. That's the best bet. Let's keep going. Here's gold. Gold wasn't looking good. I think on the 60-minute chart, it broke down last night. As I left you over in this area, thought it was going to break out, go into previous lows, but it just didn't want to do that. Here we have a left shoulder, a neck, and a flat top break into previous lows. So right now we are back and forth, back and forth. You can see the back and forth action. Between the 8 and the 34, it looks like it wants to go up. As this bottom came across the 8, came back into the 8, came back into the 8, came back into the 8, keeps getting pushed back by the 34. But look at that pattern, bull bear, bull bear. And then what do we this is a pattern, a volume pattern actually. Bull bear, bull bear. More so on a daily chart. We're on a 60 minutes, so it's not that important, but I remember back in the day people used to find these bull bear, and then it would go bull, bull, bull. So you can see this on volume patterns is probably the best way to find these patterns, but as far as I remember, it used to work best on the daily chart. So being at that, it's a 60-minute chart. Still pay attention though. Bull, bear, bull, bear, bull, bull, bull. So see what happens. It is coming off a reverse head and shoulders bullish pattern, breaking into that previous lows, breaking the neckline, hitting the 34, bouncing back, bouncing back. So you can see the corkscrew, and it looks bullish. So it looks like we opened up today for the next candle. Not really up, but silver. Silver's acting kind of funny, but still, well, let's go back to gold because I wanted to see. Looks like a bearish pattern on the weekly. We need to do some good tonight. Where was it? Oh, I can't remember what I was looking for. Looks like a 5-hour chart. We're working from a double top. Look, we got some stair stepping going on. We need to do some damage tonight so that the weekly close is not a double top bearish piercing pattern. We need to get above previous highs. 1356. But we're still above the EMA 8. But yeah, 2-bar bearish pattern like that, it's not going to hold the 8. It'll probably slide to the 13 at least. So let's get it going. I need some legs. Silver again, bouncing off the 8 on a daily. Look for a flat top break. It's like 2060 for the week. Just want to make sure we stay above 20 and the previous high. And let that 8 slide up further before we get any kind of volatility. Let it hang for a while. GDX, can't tell what's going to happen unless we get outside of this channel, this up, down, up, down, up, down. We do and are working with lower highs, but look for a flat top break if we get some bullish action on gold and silver. Otherwise, we're right at support, so anything could happen. GDXJ, same thing. We're in this channel, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. Looks like today we gapped down and closed up, so that is a bullish piercing pattern. It's very slight, but same thing with GDX. It's just slight, but it's not too far off the mark. Looks like for the weekly on a GDX, it is close to a hanging man. So let's pick up the pace a little bit. Same with GDXJ. But let's see if we can hang up here long enough to where the 8 comes up above previous highs, adding through time support. Someone requested Nugget, same thing. See how we gapped down and closed up. That's a daily, weekly. So the miners are still bullish, but putting in a double top if we don't hurry up and do something about it. Tomorrow is Friday. Let's look at some more. El Dorado, same thing. Gapped down, opened up. El Dorado's doing this double top, lower high. We need to beat out this lower high. And the ultimate pattern here is the long-term W. See if we can get some bullish action out of this. Previous high break at $5.15. But to me, staying above 5 at all costs is going to be important on El Dorado. So let's get price above 5, come back into support, which is this previous high at 490. It looks healthy. It's just waiting for something. Don't know. Look, now you can see the flat top break at 515. Right? You can see that flat top break on a longer term chart. Let's look at a monthly. You can see what's holding it back. That SMA 34. The flat top break is going to be exciting on El Dorado. So pay attention to the ones that haven't moved yet. It is the next move. Gold and silver looks like El Dorado will be one of them to go forward. Yamana, same thing, all the way across. We're waiting for something. We did have reverse head and shoulders on the weekly chart. Had that flat top break, and so far we're hanging in there. I need to get the EMA 8 above previous high, or above previous pattern break, which is about 540, I think. So it's not quite there yet. It may take a couple weeks to get another 20 points out of it. But through time, EMA 8 and 13 will move up as long as price will hang high. High level consolidations brings that 8 up where it can come through time and hit support. Again, on a monthly, you can see what's holding it back. It actually broke on AUI. So I'm waiting for this thing to break the meeting line, get into previous lows, and then ultimately up in this area, which would be really nice to see in the next couple weeks. Even getting up to 10 on this double top and previous low. But I think getting over this meeting line on a monthly chart, hitting 7s, getting up to 850, onwards of 10 and 11. Takes some time. It's a monthly chart, but it is broken out, and it should be moving up a lot more smoothly than this. But like everything else, it's waiting for something. Let's look at CLF. Here's a daily. We're putting in some kind of a top consolidation. You can see the hanging man. Very strong move from 3. I remember giving the recommendation after, well, there was a couple recommendations. I gave it in here on a flat top break, let it ride, and then they churned it around all the way back below the previous breakout, made a morning star. Yeah, that was pretty awesome buy right here. But since then, it's been above the EMA 8 all the way up. It even had another flat top break, busting out in and around 8, which is from 3 to 8, 750. But anyways, pretty nice run. PSLV, if anyone wants to be conservative and buy silver, Eric Sprott's Silver Trust. Doesn't move as well as the rest of the market, but moves pretty nicely. See the flat top break from the previous run. Again, we're making a high level consolidation on silver. So be patient on silver. It's doing what gold did for that whole month of consolidation. I forget what month that was. I think it was all of June, right? I can't. So if you're hurting to buy silver, I would wait, because the last run it's still consolidating. Without nugget, we need a little J-nug. This thing's a monster. 3 times the juniors, I guess that's what it means. But what a mover. I mean, this thing is always up 10-15% every day. But just be careful when you day trade something like this. I mean, they'll shake your ass out so fast. But you can see, if you keep to the true technical analysis, pattern breaks, candle reversals, EMA 8 support buys, you shouldn't have any problems. But right now, you can see how far away it is from the support. I mean, this thing took off and it did not look back. It went up from, let's just say, 183 to 320. Wow. That was just in a couple weeks. And if you look at it, you can see the back and forth action. pretty nice. And it's the same as everything else. It's in that channel. We are above the EMA 8 on a daily. It keeps bouncing off the daily. But what a huge run. This thing's a monster. But too rich for my blood. But could have bought some options, I guess. But let's keep moving. USLV, pretty nice mover as well. The 3 times silver trust. Or no, not silver trust, just 3 times long silver. Who knows how they come up with all these derivatives? But just trade them. Trade the patterns. For the week, same thing. It's very extended. Needs to consolidate. If it wanted to keep moving, it would have. But now you can see kind of the rounding tops. And now we're coming into a spinning top. Doesn't mean anything unless it's broken down. But this thing can move sideways for a whole month, like it did on gold that 1 month, and see what happens. But shy away from silver unless you get a straggler that hasn't broken out yet, because this needs to consolidate. It's way far away extended from the EMA 8, and its natural point of return is always coming back to that 8. So watch through time the 8 come up and price come down to meet it, and that's where your support is. Hate to say it, but I bought this one today. I was looking for a flat top break. The only reason why I say I hate to say it is because I really don't want to advertise what I'm buying, because if I make a mistake, you're all going to hate me. But pretty safe to say if you stay above previous highs and watch for the flat top break, there's no reason why I can't get a double out of this thing coming up through that flat top break into the SMA 34, which is, if we can get it past 60 upwards into 80 previous highs or previous lows. So first previous lows at 62, 60, whereabouts. But because the flat top break is coming in, I think 60 is going to be a blowout, a little hit and run, and then it's onward to the SMA 34. So again, this one hasn't broken out yet on the monthly chart, but definitely bullish from, geez, 8 cents. Wow. Huh. These things never stop, do they? One thing I want everyone to recognize is I did lose some money on this thing. I had to sell it because I couldn't stand watching it keep going down. And look at it now. I mean, I had to sell it when it was like over in here somewhere, I think. I just couldn't look at it anymore. Plus I had a huge reversal bar lower high. Anyways, I sold it and just doing this little thing below the 34, and then all of a sudden, boom! Popped across the 34, reversed, bullish retraced, back into the 34, the best buy you can ever have right there, because look what happens. Boom. And now we even have a quick consolidation where it went down all the way into the 8 and then shot back up. So it looks very bullish from here. Longer term, we want to close above previous highs. But don't chase it. I just want you to recognize that finally NAK is woken up. And you can see on a longer term chart, you might see that J curve that I loved so badly before. But now I'm in something else, and hopefully it'll wait for me, because I'd like to win my money back. It wasn't a lot of money I lost, but I had to sell it through time. I didn't want to waste. But now it's woken up. The 34 SMA on a monthly chart is at 60. So it's broken previous highs at, let's call it 46, blah, 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 50, 46, whatever. And looks like we got a previous high at 72. But all of a sudden, it just had to wake up, and you can see the last 2 weeks of volume. Just out of nowhere. Just happens like that, you know? I think that's it, guys. Let's just take a quick gander at gold. See if we can get any kind of legs on this thing before the end of the week. Okay, because we're working with the bearish candle on a weekly chart, or a bearish combination of candles. Double top, bearish encompassing, bearish piercing, all sorts of nasty stuff going on here. Silver's in a little bit better shape, but like I said, wait for the consolidation. It's got that rounding top look, and might need some time to recover. As it just from 18 to 21, just like that. So imagine 4 more weeks of consolidation. Look for those reversal bars on like a 60-minute or something. Buy into support, just like that. And I think it wants to go higher, but we'll see how high I can get. We needed to get it a lot higher to keep this bullish momentum. But right now it's stuck in a rut. So anyways, thanks for the donations, guys. Thanks for the questions. Looks like I picked up some spammers. I'm not sure what's going on with that. They asked the same question in a different way. It's weird. I don't see any point of wasting time like that. But thanks for the comments. Google loves comments, so you can spam all you want. I don't give a crap. But it's just weird. So yeah, just keep your wits about you, and just follow the patterns. And I'll catch you tomorrow. I'll do a weekly wrap up. I'll see you guys.